Hey everybody, hope everyone's doing well. Thank you for tuning in. Today we're going to do a video about pocket knives, the pocket knife. Wow, that kind of started my journey on whittling and of course wood carving, later moving into wood carving tools, wood carving knives, palm gouges, V-tools and such. But the main thing I've always had in my hand was the pocket knife. One reason is because growing up, that's all I could get. Looking back, I'm thankful that I only had that because it allowed me to learn different cuts, learn how to hold the wood, and of course the knife at a safe um, position, So, and I mean that's important, especially for you young carvers. Holding the block of wood is extremely important. You know where to hold it, or you know how to position your hand. You know, carving towards you rather than going away. It's important to know where to do, what to do. So today, you know, I just wanted to go over what I carry in my pocket, what I don't leave the house with, and I'll show you here in a minute what I carry with me every day. But wanted to thank all the grandfathers. I want to thank all my granddads and great granddads for passing down pocket knives that means a lot, that will stay in the family. And it just, it's something about it. You know, you can pocket knife, or a knife in general, is one of the most used tools, whether in the kitchen for the ladies or out in the woods for the guys. You know, I always have mine on in my pocket. You know, I do carry, or sometimes at times I do have a sheath knife where it goes in the sheath and carry it around in the woods and wear it a little bit. But usually pocket knife is always something that I have. It's easy to carry, it's safe to carry. That and a piece of wood going out and sitting down waiting on the wife, whether or not she's shopping or picking up something from the store. I got a little bit of time, helps me be patient a little bit. So anyway, we'll get right into it. Some of the pocket knives that I grew up using were the old timers. I know my brother, he carried an Uncle Henry. I know some of the older guys that I know, they carried case knives. Stuff, I have I'm a knife nut, so I got a few. Of course, I showed you this one in my last video. That is a fantastic knife. I usually keep this in my carving box because of the blade modifications, and how it's been really modified for some wood carving and whatnot. But this one here I showed you guys, this is a fantastic knife, the Tater Skin Congress. I carried that one for a while, and there's nothing wrong with these knives or anything. This is one of my granddad's pocket knife. He carried this, modified the blade. He used it. I mean, when he got a knife, it wasn't for show, it was to be used. And so you can see the blade shape on that single blade old timer. And it might not look pretty, my blade might not go all the way down in the handle, but it was his, and so that's something that I'm not gonna get rid of. It was granddad's knife, you know what I mean? So that one stays in the shop, and if I need to cut a piece of string or something like that, and if it's available, I might grab it and just to cut something real fast. But the guys, I would go to flea markets and I would collect them. I would see and talk to the grandpas there that was selling knives. They had, oh my gosh, you should see their collection. But something like like these old case knives like this, something that is discontinued, and something that might not look that pretty, or it's worn. The blades are worn, and everything. But back, the older case knives, I really, I kind of tend to lean more that way, the older ones versus the new ones. Of course, I have a good many of the new ones too. It's just the old ones, I like the steel. Of course, they have great steel now. I'm not saying that they don't, but the the carbon steel, the older carbon steel case knives that have been worn down, smooth handles, and you know, that look like that. And I like stuff like that. You know, I was at a flea market one time, and this was an old gentleman. He was making cedar wood birdhouses, and you would see guys sit around talking, but they would always be they would have a stick of cedar wood. Of course, this is not cedar, but it's about, you know, that length, and they would be whittling and making curls like, I mean, long as their arm. And I remember distinctively growing up, we would go to a certain flea market and go up there, and that guy would be whittling away, and it just looked like he was holding it with 2 fingers and barely touching the wood, and having, you know, a curl that would start a 3 log fire. You know what I mean? It was amazing. I don't know why, it just fascinated. It's like, man, it fascinated me. It's just incredible to get a knife that sharp where you can barely touch the wood. Yeah, you know, looking back at it, I was like, man, I should have asked him a lot more questions. And what kind of knife it was. But I was just, you know, thankful to be around that kind of environment with, you know, the older guys showing me different pocket knives and why this and why that, you know, and who the makers of them and why the blades are like this. Just different things, you know. I tend to collect the older stuff, although, like I said, I collect the new stuff as well too. And so I wanted to show you this. It's come from a gentleman that I look up to in the carving world by the name of Gary Phelan. And this I got from Mr. Gary. It was a Congress case pattern. I believe it is an 88, and it is. But it's stuff like that, you know. I'm not looking to get rid of knives like this. Number one, they don't make them no more. Number two, it's hard to find them. And number three, you know, is sentimental, which is fine. So what knife do I carry and why? And like I said, the knives that I did reviews on, they're all fantastic. I have carried them before. It's just lately I've come across this knife and really like it, and I've always liked this pattern. And it is a 6380 Whittler by Case, red bone, darkish brown or red bone handles. This blade has been modified a little bit for whittling, carving, and it feels good in the hand. That's one reason I carry it. The blades are extremely sharp, and they stay sharp. They cut great. And there's a certain sound that a blade makes that when you get it sharp, it's a pleasure to carve with. And so that, you know, that's one reason I carry it. You know, I can, you know, it feels good, it sharpens well, it stays sharp. I can do it about anything I want. You know, grew up using pocket knives, so I'm familiar with it, and thankful that I am. Although I'm very thankful to have the carving tools I have now for, you know, carving for 5-6 hours at a time. But for everyday use, whittling and carving, that's my knife. That's everyday carry for me, and thankful to come across that one. And another thing I was going to tell you guys is one reason that I did kind of lean towards this knife, or the pattern of it, was Tom Wolfe. In one of his DVDs that I got, he actually carved with that exact same pattern. I believe it was whittling with a pocket knife DVD, actually. But he showed me that, and another DVD that he was carving on was a Civil War bust of a soldier. And for those of you that don't know who Tom Wolfe is, he's kind of one of the names that stick out as like a grandfather to carving, wood carving and whatnot. Great guy. I got to meet him one time. Was thankful to do so. But anyway, guys, you know, that's pocket knife. I wanted to show it to you, share it with you. Hope you guys are doing well. Thank you for each and every one of you who has subscribed and watched my channel. I greatly appreciate it. So just stay tuned for more videos come your way. We'll see you later.